Hello everyone, welcome to our channel EME Technologies. Do subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon button for latest updates. This is the best time to make yourselves productive, so feel free to contact us for industrial training and summer training for ultra productivity and peak performance.
Hi guys, this is Ankur from EME Technologies, and today we'll get to know about Firebase, how we can use Firebase in Android. So this is the first thing to do. We'll go to firebase.google.com and we'll see what services this Google Firebase provides. So the thing which we are interested in is real-time database. So it says store and sync app data in milliseconds. So this is a service which allow you to store your data online and without having to know any server side coding. So it is very good for an Android developer to use. So first of all, we'll create one Android project which will be like EME Firebase uh, uh, test. Okay, and now I'll create this project in Android. Here, so we're here in Android, and we'll see how we can link this project with Firebase project. So first of all, you will have to log in with your email ID in this Android Studio. So I'm gonna do it right now so that you can also know. So this is my email ID, and I'm gonna allow this thing. So now you can see here success, you've signed in Android Studio. So we'll have to go to this Android Studio and see I am logged in with this email ID, and now I'll have to go to this browser and go to this firebase.google.com and sign in with the same email ID which I signed in Android Studio. So I'm currently signed in with that same email ID. So now you can see here go to console button. So I'll click on this button and this will redirect me to my Firebase consoles, right? So I have this thing here, but I'm not going to use it. I will create a new project from this Android Studio, and this is the shortest way of doing things. So shortest and easiest. So first of all, go to tools, Firebase, and then we'll be able to see this assistance uh, tab here. And then the thing which we are interested in is real-time database, and then we'll click on this save and retrieve data. And the first thing which we want to do is connect to Firebase. So this Android Studio will connect our Android project with Firebase project in the background. So you can see I have this project already created in Firebase, but we'll not use this. We'll create the new project, which is EME Firebase test, and I'll click on this button, connect to Firebase. So you can see starting project creation. Now this Android Studio will create one project in Firebase console for me, and which we'll be using in this communication. It's gonna take some time. We might want to wait for it. So now you can see here our Android project is connected to the Firebase project. Now the second step is to add real-time database to your app. We'll click on this button, and this pop-up says that this assistance wants to add some dependencies in our file. So we don't have to do anything. We'll just have to accept the changes, and it will automatically add some lines in my build.gradle file. So I'm going to accept these changes. And there is another way to do this, but that way is like very lengthy, so we'll not use that thing. So this is the shortest way of doing things, shortest and best way to do things. So now the third thing is configure Firebase database rules. Right, so we should go to this thing and I'll refresh this page and we'll be able to see this project. Yeah, this is our project, EME Firebase test. So in this section, we'll go to database section, and there are some security rules. Like if we want to write or read from the Firebase database, our user should be signed in. So we'll have to go with this authentication thing before using the database, but we will skip this thing as our purpose is to know how to read and write from database. So the thing which we want is real-time database. So this Cloud Firestore is the upgraded version of real-time database if our database is large. So for this video purpose, we'll use this real-time database. I'm going to click on this button, and first thing is start in logged mode, in which we have to sign in our user, and second is start in test mode. So we don't have to sign in any user. Anybody will be able to read and write to this database. So you can see that here. Yeah, I'm going to enable the settings. So now you can see we have this page, and this is basically a JSON object. So we will write to this object and this thing will be updated. So what we want to do is we want to use one function from our Android client, and when that function will be called, the value will be updated here. So this will be pretty much easy for a developer and I to do, because they have this assistance. So the fourth point is write to your database. So we just simply have to copy these lines. I'm going to copy it and write it at, so let's just make another function, public void write to data. Okay, database. So yeah, this is the function, and I'm going to write this, paste this thing here. So we'll import this thing. Okay, import class. So what these lines say is I'm making an object of Firebase database class, and then I'm getting the instance of Firebase database, and I'm now making a reference. So reference to which we want to add this data. So my reference is message, the thing which I send from this Android Studio will be inserted in message object. So you'll get to know when I execute this code. So in on create of this activity, we will call this function. This is simple. So we just have created one Firebase database object and one database reference object, and on that database reference object we're calling this function set value. So now what will happen, message key will have the value of hello world. So with this thing you need to have little knowledge about JSON. So even if you don't have any prior knowledge on JSON, you'll still be able to understand all those things. Okay, so now we'll run this thing. So we might want to wait for the emulator to start. So now we'll run this thing in our emulator, as this thing will take some time. We'll let this thing run. So now we are over with the installing of the application. So right now this activity does not have any UI, so but it has done its work. So we'll have to go to this console, Firebase console, and you can see here we can see this message and the value which we passed, which is hello world. So this is how we store to the Firebase database. Hope you understood this thing, and if you have any query, write in the comment section, and thank you for now. So we'll see you in next videos.